What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video we are back to talk about the Doorkeep Granyt and see where this guy is going to be useful for you. We're going to take a look at his damage for Hydra and what he's bringing to the table. We have multiple examples of where this guy can be good, and I was looking at multiple videos on different languages: German, Russian, English, French, Hungarian, all kinds of things in order to see the results of this guy on the test server. So we are going to compare those results. We are going to talk about the type of gear he was using and how much he can bring to your table. And then we have to decide if this is going to be a fusion that you want to do or not. This might be one of the cheapest fusions that we have based on the previous fusion, because depending on if you are going to use sacred shards or ancient shards, fusions get a lot cheaper, and this might be one of those. So we are going to break down all information that you need to know in order for you to decide if you are going to do this fusion or not, or if you want to save all your resources for the upcoming event for Leonardo, which should be still in 14 to 18 days from today. So as always, if you guys like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Raid Shadow Legends content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss, not like Granyt, because he smashes like a feather. Before we start the video, as always, if you guys know anyone, you have a friend or a family member that would like to start playing Raid, why not to check out my QR code right now on the screen. They're going to be able to start their journey in Raid with Karato Foxhunter, legendary champion from the Shadow King faction, samurai with all those amazing skills. Then at level 10, you're going to be able to obtain Uugo, an epic champion that can revive your entire team. After that, you can get the Mausoleum Mage at level 20. You can increase your crit chance, your defense, and heals up your entire team. And finally, you can use one of these promo codes right now on the screen to get another legendary champion, your second one. MONKEYKING for Song Wukong, amazing character for Arena. Desert Queen for DuArktik, amazing champion against the bosses. Tree Hugger for Rurak, a character that is from the Sylvan Watchers faction. And finally, GETALICE for Alice, amazing champion from the Sacred Order. This is only possible during the first 48 hours and by using the promo code. And finally, if you log in for 7 days in Raid, you're going to be able to get Michelangelo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plus his red stars. This will be available until the 30th of October, so keep that in mind, as this is limited time only and by only using the QR code. If you don't use the QR code, it doesn't work. So keep that in mind. Okay, so once again, if you have any friend or family member that would like to try out the best turn-based RPG, that's the best way for you to start. Okay, let's talk about Granyt. So Granyt is definitely interesting champion. One big problem that he has is that when you pair him up with other damage dealers, the damage dealers are usually faster. So for example, on this specific case, Marius and Varg are much faster than Granyt, so of course they are going to do more damage. And this is because whenever you kill Hydra, whenever you decapitate them, you can deal damage to the decapitated head, but after they spawn, and you'll not be able to do damage. So that's a big problem for a Granyt. If he does not have the same speed as the other characters, he's always going to get cucked, absolutely cucked, because he's not as fast, right? So the opportunity of dealing damage will be limited. And this is a problem in terms of design of the Hydra, is that if your team is so fast, you actually do less damage because you don't have the opportunity, right? Because you take 5 turns and the Hydra head is protected by the buffs. So it's very annoying. It's something that is just a bad design in terms of the boss. So yeah, if he's not fast enough, he's not going to do damage. So you can see right here, he's doing 1/3 of what Marius is doing. But Marius usually does like 250 million. So he's getting a huge boost thanks to Granyt. Okay, going back to his skills, the ultimate does a lot of damage, whether he's decapitated or not. The problem is that if you're playing with him on auto, he's going to attack many times targets that he should not attack. So once again, you are going to waste damage because the AI is just acting up and it's not going to be beneficial for you, right? So there is a huge opportunity for you to miss damage in case you are playing on auto. And a lot of people don't have hours to play on manual, but yeah, if you play on manual, this guy is going to do a ton more damage. And that's another problem with his affinity, right? Because his spirit affinity, once again, if you are playing on manual, you can maximize the damage from the affinity. If you are playing on manual, you are less likely capable of maximizing the damage through the affinity. So those two situations are one of the big reasons, or two of the big reasons, why he does less damage compared to other characters. He doesn't have enough speed, so he does not have the opportunity to deal the damage, and then he has the affinity problem. In terms of his second ability, the AoE, the multipliers are not good enough. Even if you have very high crit damage, even if you have very high HP, the multiplier is just not good enough. And because of that, the AoE will always be lackluster. In terms of the basic, in terms of the A1, it does solid damage once again, especially if you have your character buffed with a shatter, and especially if you have characters that increase the amount of turns you have on your buffs, right? So something like the Meta or any other character that increases your buffs is going to greatly increase the damage output out of this guy, because once again his basic does so much damage. Okay, so with all that in mind, this guy is definitely a decent damage dealer, but once again, he's not going to be your top star. The good thing is that he's going to greatly improve other characters. Once again, Marius, Rezelvarg are going to improve greatly from the shatter buff, and you also have the decreased defense and the block buffs and so on. Let's take a look at a few examples of what Granyt is able to do and able to provide for the team. And keep in mind that in any of these situations, he was used as a protection set character, which means if you use him with a protection set, he's going to be able to provide 15% more damage, especially if you have a protection set that deals damage, which some people forget that you can have crit damage with your protection set. So there you go. That's something for you to keep in mind. Okay, so once again, in this specific case, Marius was doing a lot more damage, a significant amount more damage, and Rezelvarg as well because of the shatter buff. Marius a little bit less because of the crushing rend. It's something, the crit damage was affecting him more than the shatter because of the crushing rend, right? If you have crushing rend and shatter, the shatter does not do anything. So it's something like crushing rend is overrated as well. It's a great blessing for PvP, but for PvE is not that great because you have the decreased defense and you have all kinds of buffs that will nullify the crushing rend. So here is actually a bad example of what Granyt can bring to the table. Let's take a look at a few other results. So here once again we have the crushing rend that makes the Granyt useless, but here we have Crocad. The damage of Crocad, boom, explodes thanks to shatter. Here he has Nature's Wrath plus shatter. You can see the damage is ridiculous. We have 650 million compared to 220 million. Once again, Marius is doing the less damage because he does not have the opportunity to deal damage because Crocad is just going crazy. But Crocad damage goes absolutely insane thanks to the damage from the shatter. Here on this specific Granyt, he was not with a protection set as well, but he had cruelty. So once again, he was reducing even more the defense on the enemies. Cruelty is useful for him as well if you want to give him even more utility for this guy. So once again, really nice damage coming out thanks to the buffs of Granyt, and especially you can see here Nature's Wrath plus the cruelty plus the shatter plus the extra crit damage. Let's take a look at a few other examples as well. So once again we have here Tholin and Thor and Marius being compared to this guy with Dracos. So you can see that Dracos does a lot less damage than Granyt, but then when you use Granyt, he's bringing more damage to the table, and the other guys are doing pretty much the same. So he's similar to Dracos, but much better, right? And he also does much more damage than Dracos. In terms of this situation right here, comparing Uugo, here in this specific situation, we're going to compare Uugo to Granyt, since both of them apply decreased defense plus the block buffs. So we have 361 million, and then we have 471 million. So increase of 100 million over the Uugo version. And this is without blessing. He has the red stars, but the blessing is not activated. The damage is still pretty low, but once again, he did not have a protection set. He had some wacky gear, savage with immortal. I was like, what is this gear? It's insane. But yeah, savage and immortal, of course, is not going to do damage, but even so, it increases the damage of the entire team by 110 million, which is huge, right? We are talking about a 30% damage increase just for having this guy on the team. And once again, he did not have protection set. And for our last analysis, we have once again a comparison of Uugo against the Granyt. We have 542 million, and then we have 633 million. Once again, he had PvP gear, he has PvP relic and blessing. So yeah, it's not like a perfect example of what this guy can provide in PvE situations against Hydra, but it's definitely a significant amount, right? We are talking about close to 100 million once again, so it's definitely something to have into consideration. So what is the conclusion for this guy? He's definitely going to bring a lot of value to your table, and the coverage that he has is just massive. It's just absolutely massive. If I would use him in one of my teams, I'm going to show you where I would use him. So for example, in one of my teams, here we come for Hydra. Here we take a look at Hydra Clash. And for example, on this team, if I would use Granyt, Granyt would replace these two characters. So Granyt alone would bring all the coverage that these two characters provide. The defense down plus the block buffs. And that means I could bring any other kind of character that would revive or heal or deal damage or anything like that, and improve this team even more. So that's the thing, right? Even that his damage might not be like the most amazing, he's still providing a lot of things. Now, in terms of his fusion, according to previous fusions and according to what we are expecting, this is going to be a fusion that is going to rely a lot on ancient shards and summoning characters from your fusions or from your fragment summons. So if that's the case, if that really confirms, this is going to be a very cheap fusion with a lot of value, and that means it's not going to affect a lot your sacred shards. So keep this in mind. You might be able to get this cheap fusion, bring a lot of value to your Hydra table, and then improve your scores quite a lot. So have all of this into consideration. Remember that he's going to improve your team even more if you have him with a protection set, 9-piece of course. So yeah, it's definitely something to have into consideration. So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button like a boss. And if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Rachel Legends content. Make sure you share my QR code with your friends and family, and I'll catch you guys later.